Hello, dear friends. It's your friend William Suvik here once more. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing very well because today is May 17th, which is also the release day for our brand new album, Once More, Dear Friends. And I'm so excited about this one. I'm really happy to be able to share this with everyone now. Uh, it's been the process of actually making this recording or this record haven't been that long. We recorded this in November, and now it's releasing in mid-May, so it's fairly fast. But I've been living with some of the songs on here for quite a while, so it feels really good to get this out finally, and so that I can move on and do something else. No, but it does feel very nice, and I'm super proud of this record, and I'm super proud of the fact that I get to work with all of the people that I get to work with. Obviously, uh, to all of the players in my band, Malin on saxophone and Signe on saxophone, Joel on guitar, and Victor on the bass. It's the best people I could ever imagine having in my band, so I'm super happy about that. And also the people that have been like making the audio production on this, Gustav Davidsson, who recorded and mixed most of this. It's such one of the sweetest people I know, and is just a master with recording, especially sort of more acoustic kind of music like this. It's such a treat working with Gustav, always. And he's also a kick-ass trombone player. And then we have Kim, my dear old friend, who he has mixed all of our previous albums with the Grand Final. And he also recorded our first one, the Rustik Musik album, and he mastered this one. And I love the way he makes things sound, especially with like jazz and more kind of fringe music, because he doesn't have all of that sort of jazz baggage, if you will, that some engineers that are working mainly with acoustic music have. And I love that he can like take a jazz recording and just crank the crap out of it, and that's really what I love. I love that kind of sound, and it works very well, I feel, for this music. And he's just an incredible engineer, and also one of my best friends for sure. So I'm super proud of this, and everyone involved. It's crazy. And it's available. You can buy this on Bandcamp now, and you can just write to me, I suppose, and I can send you one as well. And I don't know really what I'm doing here on this video today. I thought that I would have a bottle of champagne or something that I could pop, but it's only like 10 in the morning, so it's a bit early for that, and I'm working later, so I might have some champagne tonight, I think. But I thought that I could at least go through the titles maybe, or the music a little bit. The first tune that you hear in the background right now, it might be very quiet, but it's there, I promise you. The first tune is called Konsert, means concert in Swedish. It's just one of those lazy titles, I suppose. I think I wrote it before we were playing, just before we were going on to play a concert. So it got the name Konsert, or concert. The other track, the second one, is called Bad, B-Ä, the Swedish, the A with the dots over it, Ä, and D, Bad. That's also one of those titles. I don't really know where it came from. With some of the songs, I know exactly why I titled them the way I have, but this one I don't really know. It's just a weird word, and it doesn't mean anything in Swedish either. Bad. Maybe it's like bad, like it's a bad song, but it's written in Swedish, like phonetically. I don't know. The third song is Korthuset, or House of Cards. I remember I wrote that one because I was watching a shit ton of House of Cards, the TV series, when I wrote that one. So that's why it's called House of Cards. The fourth track is called Järnet, which means iron in Swedish. And I think I call that one Järnet because I don't really know. I think maybe it has something to do with like the Swedish phrase att ge järnet, sort of giving it your all in English or something like that, going all in. So maybe that has something to do with that. Cool for School is the next one. It's sort of a, well, I usually say that it's a tribute to my son, and it's supposed to sort of capture his ever-changing emotions, because the track itself is quite sort of it changes directions all the time. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think that was the case when I wrote that song, but it's sort of it's something that I've come up with afterwards, I guess. And Cool for School, I suppose, is I remember him going off to daycare once, and he had his little backpack on, and he looked really cool. So I just thought that he was cool for school. The next track is Chills, with a Z at the end, of course. It's much cooler to write things with a Z. And I think I think I wrote that when I had when I was home with like fever once, and I just had the chills, just because I was feverish. I think that was the case. I Will Follow You is the next one. I actually called it I Will Follow You Into the Dark, which I think is a better title. But it was like, it's such a long title, so I couldn't really fit it on the actual album without it looking weird. So I just said, I just thought that I'd call it I Will Follow You instead. It sounds sort of stalkerish or stalkery or something now when I think about it. But it's there's like a little part of that track that sounds a little bit like, I think it's a part of the Scrubs soundtrack, maybe. I was watching a lot of Scrubs many years ago, and I always remember one song there. I mean, Scrubs is filled with sort of alternative acoustic music. I think JD even says that that's his favorite kind of music, acoustic alternative. And there's one track where there's someone who's singing a melody that's sort of like one of the melodies in this I Will Follow You track, and they're also singing the lyrics I will follow you into the dark. And so that's why that one's called that. And then there's Bluesin, which means the blues in English, and it's just because it's sort of a blues, kind of, not really, but it's blues adjacent, I suppose, even though it is fairly insane. And I remember writing that when I was at home once watching I had a fever. I realized I've written a lot of these tracks while I was home sick. I think it was during the COVID, one of the times that I had COVID probably. But I was watching, I remember sitting on the floor in front of the TV with my guitar, just watching this documentary about the octopus and the guy that sort of falls in love with an octopus or something. I don't know what it's called. It's called Bläckfisken och jag in Swedish, which means the octopus and I. I don't know the English title for it, but it's a really strange documentary. about a guy who sort of spends all his time in the ocean with this octopus, while simultaneously whining about that he never gets to see his family because he's always in the ocean with this octopus. And I remember thinking it was really strange. And I also had a fever, so this was what came out for some reason, the blues track. Then we have Golden Meadow Is Now, which is sort of the title at least is a sort of a rip-off from a band that I really like that's called Golden Valley Is Now. It's a band with the drummer composer Dave King from the Bad Plus that he has with the bass player of the Bad Plus, Reed Anderson. And I think that I'm blanking, but it's a really good name band, and they are called Golden Valley Is Now. And I think Golden Valley is a place in the American Midwest somewhere, and I think they stole that title or that band name from a book by someone. I don't know. But Golden Meadow is sort of a tribute to the place where I live in Gothenburg, because it's called Guldheden, which basically means golden meadow in English. And that made me think of the Golden Valley Is Now. So Golden Meadow Is Now. And that's just a short little thing. We usually play it as an encore on our concerts, because it's just this short little thing. It's like 2 minutes long, no solos or anything. It's just a melody, and yeah, I like that one. It's a nice track. It's sort of grungy at the end as well, which I like. And then there's the weird one. Cruikshank's Temptation is finishing up the album, and that one is the title at least comes from the fact that I thought that this track sounded a little bit like some of the soundtrack from Shawshank Redemption, the movie, but I didn't want to call the track Shawshank Redemption, obviously. So I tried to figure out something else that sort of sounded like Shawshank Redemption, but that was not just made up. That was an actual thing. And Crookshank is Hermione's cat in the Harry Potter books. I think her cat is called Crookshanks, and it sort of sounds like Shawshank, right? Crookshank, Shawshank. And then Temptation sort of sounds like Redemption a little bit. So Crookshank's Temptation, inspired by Shawshank Redemption. It's a tongue twister, I know, but it is what it is. And also, weirdly, with that track, we recorded it just like a regular sort of like a regular tune with the band. We were just playing it, and then I was mixing at home that specific track, and I was doing a bounce on it, and turned out that my computer wasn't like strong enough to withstand all of the weird plugins that I'd put on there, so it made the bounce super glitchy. So when I listened to it, it was like, what's going on? It sounded like in the Matrix movie, sometimes when there's like a glitch in the Matrix, there's this particular sort of digital glitchy sound, and it had that all over, and I sort of liked it. So I just felt that, and I'd also heard that track like 200 times at that point, and was sort of quite tired of it. So I did this classic thing of when you've heard the music so many times and you don't think about the fact that no one else has ever heard this, but you've sort of grown tired of it yourself, and then you get something like that, like a glitch version, and you think to yourself, well, maybe I should just keep this. So I actually did, and I didn't tell anyone in my band until I had sent the the CD for to the CD factory for manufacturing. So the Crookshanks Temptation is it's like a glitch version of the original track, I suppose. But it does sound, I think it sounds really cool actually, because it makes it sound like we're playing in sort of quintuplet feel sometimes, which is not the case at all in the original track. It's just that it's super glitchy, and it's also just like very loud and very weird in all in the song in general, especially towards the end. So I thought that it worked really well with the glitch stuff, and I think it sounds cool. So yeah, those are all the tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tracks. It's and it's quite a long album too. I think it's like 61 minutes or something like that. So it's not as long as our last one, which was almost an hour and a half, I think, or an hour and 20 minutes at least. So this is this is more radio friendly, if you will. But yeah, it's still an hour, so it's a long album. But I do think that it works as an album, and that's also why I haven't really released any singles or anything like that, because I feel like I don't know, this kind of music I think that you should sort of enjoy it as a unit somehow, and not just listen to individual tracks, even though I know that's what people mostly do these days. But I don't really care, because I mean it's not like this music is incredibly popular anyway. So no singles for this one or any of my albums, which is something that I don't know, it's just one of those things. But anyway, it's out now and you can listen to the whole thing, and I think you should. As I said, you can buy it on Bandcamp, or you can send me a message. You can buy it digitally from everywhere, I suppose, iTunes and YouTube Music and everything. And I guess that's it. I think that we will do a whole sort of run through of the album soon, hopefully with the whole band, and sort of do a musician's commentary track. We did that with our last album. It was really fun. So that's probably coming quite soon, and I will also be interviewing Malin next week, and hopefully singing real soon as well. And I will probably bother you with all kinds of stuff here continuously. But I just wanted to check in today and tell you all that this one is out today, and please have a listen. I really love this. I think it's really great, and I hope you like it as well. Okay, now, happy Friday, people. Happy release day, and take care, and I'll see you next time. All right. Goodbye.